Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is Yonks with REtoken, the real estate DAO, and the team is coming here together. We are in the process of implementing Coordinape, and we are absolutely very much all learning together here tonight. So this, I think, is maybe our third or fourth conversation about Coordinape. Last week was functionally the first time where we actually, as a team, we had two circles that we utilized last week. We had the core team and the ambassadors team. And one of the things that we're wanting to do here tonight is just kind of hold everybody's hands, work on adopting or implementing some best practices from an admin perspective. We also need to finalize, and I'm not necessarily expecting that to happen here. From a budget standpoint that I've recommended that we do is 250 REtoken per team. And that's something that we'll kind of play around with a little bit here tonight. But again, not make a decision on that. We'll talk about this again on Sunday during the core team at 3. And then after that, we're going to have an end of the week sync. During this launch, and one of the things that just to let everybody know, most DAOs don't run their epochs on a weekly basis. I think that we're a very different type of a DAO as far as the way that we're doing our organization. I also very much believe that we as humans are creatures of habits, and the way that society is architected today operate on a weekly basis. So whether we fast forward, this is the first round, and the way that we're calling our rounds, so this is the second week, round 1-2, if that makes sense. So just going down the list, and I wanted to thank everybody, and I'm going to just read who we've got here on the list hanging out on the live stream tonight. We've got Amy, Blackfire, Brian Freeman, D-Sign, Nicholas, Rosetta, Teresa, and Tyler, Mrs. Yonks. So thanks, everybody. And again, we are all learning here together. So let's actually just hop right in here, and wanted to thank D-Sign. He got the dev team. So let's actually take a look at the dev team that he's got in place. So I hope that I didn't accident. Let's see. So the dev team, looking at
the mighty team's done also, or the new platform team's done also.
Awesome. And thank you, Mrs. Yonks. Well, I think that we did that here earlier, if I remember correctly, but let's look at the,
I might accidentally started a second one anyway. Yeah.
No worries. So here's the dev team. So one of the things, let's actually just rewind here real quick. So Coordinape, and this is if you're wanting to participate in any particular team right now during this, and that's one of the things. There's not a whole lot of best practices surrounding Coordinape and using it. One of the things that I believe is being implemented is a team's component. So like right now we have 5 separate circles. Now we might find like a month or two from now where we change gears based upon figuring out how to use this better or whatever. So right now we're all learning. Let's actually take a look here. Here's what my profile looks like. So this is something that I would encourage you to all go through. It adds a lot more character to your profile. You can add some social media links here and everything. So here's what happens right now. We are not allowing a permissionless dynamic to occur. That does provide some additional scalability. We're taking where the admin and functionally that's the team captain, the way that we are doing this team breakout concept during this REtoken relaunch month. So after you've been added to a circle, and if you're interested in participating on the teams, we have 5 teams here for this initial round of Coordinape. We have the dev team, we have the content team, we have ambassadors, the core relaunch team, and then the new platform team. So thank you to the team captains that are doing that. And we have an opportunity for somebody that loves leadership to be a lead on the ambassadors team. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure that you fill out the Let Us Meet on the ambassadors. We've got an upcoming conversation for the ambassadors team. So here's what it looks like after you've been added to the Coordinape. And again, we're manually adding people right now. We may change that down the road, but for this initial exploration phase, we're manually as admins adding people. So going to the allocate, this is what it looks like when you first come in here to Coordinape. And this is one of the things that I would encourage people to do at the front side of the week. Like right now here for the dev team, Design just got this all set up. So like I could put working with Design on various initiatives. I can't spell whatever, and identifying DAO pain points. So this is like one of the things that I'm working with Design. And here, like, see this little button here? We want to make sure that you're opted in, unless like, and this is like, you know, I want to take a week off, and that's a, anyway. So make sure that you opt in and save the epoch settings. So, and this is what it looks like after you come over here. And one of the things, like if you see somebody do something that's like, oh, wow, that was fabulous. Like from a dev team standpoint, let's give Design, let's see here. I'm going to switch back to another circle real quick. Allocate, give. Let's see. So it looks like everybody's so I'm actually going to admin Design into, because and this is one of the things, Design, I would actually change everybody to opted in. And this is something that people, if you're in a circle, make sure, because bear with us too, that we're just figuring this out. So be patient with us. And so I'm going to actually administratively opt Design in. So opted out, no, save. So now Design is opted in. So now when I go to the allocate over here, I'm going to change the circle real quick. Okay, so now you can see where I can allocate Design some give. So let's give him some thanks for getting our dev team Coordinape set up and the team call scheduled. Now, this isn't set in stone. We have all week to adjust this, but just from a developing a good habit standpoint, because here's one of the things that I want to show too. So over here in the Discord, we have in the channels over here, we have the Coordinape bot all in place. So let me go here to the dev team. Let me actually take a look at the ambassadors, because we've had that one online a little bit longer. So what I'm talking about here, see where it says users that made new allocations today. So thank you, Blackfire, for hopping into Coordinape and making an allocation the other day. So this is a very easy way to see who is engaged whenever the Coordinape does this daily update. And this occurs at 4 Eastern time. So if you want to put like a little reminder to yourself, say, hey, like go in and do some type of allocation. That's just an easy way that you can like get a little brownie point, if you will, from the Coordinape bot to show that you're more actively engaged. So this is just kind of some nuggets here. And then one of the things that I'm really hoping that using Coordinape will help us do is to be more thoughtful about, one, most importantly, praising our team members for contributions that they're making. So whenever you see our teammate, that would be a great opportunity to like, man, that was fabulous. I want to just hop in and Coordinape, give them a little bit of praise and allocate some gives to them. That's just one thought as far as us putting some best practices in place. And I don't know if you wanted to chime in some thoughts. You've just basically started using Coordinape yourself too, Mrs. Yonks, but based upon what you've seen so far.
So there's a couple of things. Oh, so Michael, I saw your question. How do you get on Coordinape? Just PM me or Jason, and or just post which teams you want to be on. We've got almost 300 people in our servers. We have to set these people up manually. So for admin, we just if you raise your hand and said I want to be on a team or multiple teams, you're on here. Otherwise, you're not on here. So just super easy to add you. Just let either of us know. We'll get you added. As far as the and we've mentioned this before. Token Engineering Commons has this culture of praise where they start every community call with complimenting each other and highlighting who's been doing work. And I think it's a super exciting way to run a DAO. So some of that culture is what we want to create here. And yeah, so on Coordinape makes it really easy to highlight and recognize people, especially if you know that they've been doing something that the community might not know about. Just say, hey, DSign and I were working on a project together offline. You guys might not know about that. I want to give him 50 of my 100 for the week because he's amazing. Or I just really feel like everybody did a great job this week. I'm going to give all 10 of you 10 each. You can break it up any way you want, or you can be like, I don't know if anybody did anything this week, so I'm just not giving out anything. So you could let me literally do whatever you want. I love the culture that it creates of saying you're not allowed to give REtoken to yourself. And sorry, I'm trying to keep my baby from pulling things down on her face. So I'm gonna go back on mute. And but yeah, it's an amazing tool.
Yeah, and I would really encourage everybody to take a look too, and on the Discord, and I'll work on getting some moved over here to our docs page too, as far as some of the resources. I'll take that as an action item. Let me actually add that here real quick, so that people that want to do some research, because I know some people really like watching some YouTubes. The Creator DAO, which Tyler and I are also founding 100 members of. Coordinape was actually a client of Coordinape was a client of Creator DAO in November. So there was a lot of fabulous content that was created out of Creator DAO from that arrangement. And where I was going with that, I'll work on getting this on our Coordinape page here under like right now, there's not really anything. So I'll work on putting some of those resources here as far as like learning how to do that. I think that there's some resources also in, like, if you do a search for Coordinape, and I'm not exactly sure where those are, but the search function works fabulously. So to keep on with to go back to the Coordinape window here. So yeah, Michael, DSign already has you on the dev team. And if there's teams that you're wanting to actively contribute to, and this is one of the things here during this REtoken relaunch month, the expectation is during these teams is that we really be intentional about defining some roles and responsibilities, and what those teams will start getting some definition here during this relaunch month. So this is the first one. The only two circles that we actually ran last week were for the, and there's a possibility I'm seeing two new platform teams here. So I think that I actually made one, and so use the one here, Tyler, that's all uppercase. I think the one that you made is the one that's lowercase. I'm pretty sure that you're an admin on both of those. And I don't know if we can even delete those or not.
Man, gosh, I hope I didn't mess this up. The other one is the one that's got everybody in it. So I'm sorry if I messed that up. I was trying to do it really fast.
Well, see, look how easy this is. We can here. I'm not going to go into the edit. Let me go back to the core relaunch team here, and because one of the things that I was wanting to do here is to show what it looks like here. So core relaunch, and I'll actually do this for the ambassadors team over here. So let's actually take a look at the map, because this is really fun. So this is the current epoch. The only person that's allocated for the current epoch is Blackfire. So let's actually take a look at the one that just finished up, which was Epoch 2, which corresponds to round 1-1. And I don't think that there's any way right now to rename the epochs, but let's actually, and this is fun. I really encourage everybody that's in here to come in and play around. It's got some really cool things where you can see the flows and what that looks like here. So fabulous tool as far as getting some visuals, as far as how things are flowing in and out. So on the admin, the other thing that was wanting to look at here, and this is what I was talking about as far as putting some best practices, and I'm going to move this over here and clean up some of my tabs. So putting in some best practices. So what we need to do, let's actually export the CSV. And one of the things that I've started doing increasingly is using some checklists, and you can start seeing that on this Trello card. And big fan of Trello, but not going to talk about that. And again, kudos to Mrs. Yonks. We've got a Trello 101 that's in our document repository. We're talking about putting out a Trello 102. Be looking for that. I'm not sure if we'll get that here in 2021 or if that'll be a 2022 item, but we are committed to, because we're all learning here, and the more effective that we can use these tools together, and who knows, we might fast forward a month or two from now and say, okay, well, Trello, we've got a better tool that can take care of the organization. So we love having the tools conversations. That's what this is here. So what I was wanting to do was actually add a checklist, and let's call this Coordinape best practices, and we'll just call it admin. So, and whether this is the best home for this, that's one of the things that's also very fabulous about checklists. So we're going to do a export CSV after epoch concluded. So I'm going to actually do that right now. And we're on the ambassadors. So let's actually just click on the export CSV. And I'm going to navigate here to REtoken, and let's just do a new folder, and we'll call this Coordinape. Put it at the top, and let's do, I'm not sure what this file name is. It's probably not one that I want to use because I am a little bit of a geek and I like using file names that are more geeky. So here's what the file name was that it gave me, and I don't like it, like I said that I wouldn't. So we're going to call this Coordinape epoch, and we'll call it epoch. We'll call it REtoken DAO. And this is ambassadors, and we'll call this, actually we'll call it the round 1.1, and this is ambassadors, and this is a CSV. So there's our file name, and we'll put a date on here too. So this corresponds to, and I'll move this over here. So this is a 2021 week 50, and last week was week 49. We're in week 50 right now. So that's the file name that I'm going to call this. And if somebody's got a better one, feel free to outgeek me on a file name, but that's the one that I'm going with right now. So I saved that. And one of the things I'm going to do, this is for the ambassadors. I'm going to just throw this into a, and I don't know where of a good place. I'll think of this offline, and I'll probably put this in the team captains channel. We do have a team captains channel. I'll probably create a Coordinape thread in there that we can all use, just so that we have them all in a single place. But more importantly, let's actually throw this up on the Google Drive, because this is a better place than Discord, because maybe someday we might not use Discord, but we'll probably more than likely still be using Google Drive or Google, because the Google is going to last forever until something better comes along.
Hey, Jason, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead. This would be a good time, because I'm going to upload this CSV here.
Is Blackfire still the head of the ambassador team? I was just wondering.
No, we had a side conversation, and he felt overextended. So that's one of the things that we are, and I think if I didn't do a good job putting that forward tonight during the community call, there's still a need and an opportunity, because again, one of the reasons that I encouraged somebody else from the core team to step up is I'm really wanting to focus on the content team. I mean, like, that's another, and I'll very clearly continue to communicate that. And, you know, like, maybe next month might make sense for me to pivot. And that's one of the things I'm really excited about this 4-week captain thing, is that, like, the opportunity to kind of mix around and, you know, mix things up and give other people the opportunity to be team captains and let people take a break. And, you know, that's the exciting thing about this 4-week cycle, I think. Now, whether we stick to that, like, we might go through this, you know, like 90 days, like 3 or 4 rounds, and like, okay, well, the 4-week thing, that was retarded. Let's make it, you know, 8 weeks, or, you know, but we'll see. It's all a work in progress. So there's absolutely an opportunity, Amy, if you want to lead the ambassadors team, or if somebody else does, you know.
Can I nominate Teresa?
I mean, we can have some conversations. Teresa hasn't even filled out her eligibility or her availability for the ambassadors. So having somebody lead that's not even gone through the let us meet yet doesn't make sense to me. So I would rather that not be a nomination thing, and somebody say, hey, that's something that I'm interested in. And, you know, like, we need to work together here. And, you know, like, the let us meet I've had out there for a while. So yeah, if definitely would love people to step up and lead, but you know, we need to have that's been or will be the ambassadors team. I'm really expecting the ambassadors team combined with the content strategy to really make a huge explosion for REtoken here in 2022. So I'm just uploading this file, the CSV file that I just exported, because I wanted to show everybody what that looks like here in Google Sheets, since it is a CSV file. So I'm just going to drag that in here real quick. And where this will probably make even more sense to end up, and let me actually just go through that process right now of importing that directly into our Google Sheet, now that I'm thinking about it. Let me bring that up. So anybody that's seen the token distribution or the airdrop video, this is our Google Sheet tracker here, where we itemize the airdrops. And I'm just going to do a little import here, file, import, and let's see, upload. And I'm going to drag this in here real quick. Coordinape, Epoch, ambassadors. So we're going to import the location into a, let's see, which one do we want to do? We don't insert new sheet, separator type, detect automatically, import data. So we're going to want to rename this tab because it's going to be a really long tab. And we're going to move this. We've got a lot of tabs in this workbook. I don't know if there's an easy way to move this without drop. Let me rename it first. So we're going to call it APE. We'll call AMB 2021 week 49.
Jason, while you're doing this, random tidbit, just want to say I'm available usually like 2 to 3 hours during the week. I usually map out time during the workday. So if you need me to do some research or write something up or something along those lines, happy to volunteer for those types of projects, like those, you know, random one-off or something you want information on, or any of the leads. That's a great way to use me.
I think the biggest opportunity, Michael, is everybody's been screaming for an FAQ. So the opportunity
I
to
think that was Brian. Was that Michael? I think it was Brian.
It was
Yeah,
Brian.
that was Brian.
was it Brian?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, it's
sir.
Brian.
Oh, sorry about that, Brian. I'm still working on getting better at identifying people's voices. So the FAQ is everybody's been screaming for an FAQ. So figuring out some manner, I think I created a thread. That was something that didn't speak to, we didn't have enough time to speak to that, but there's always too much to speak to on the community call. So here's what this export looks like. I'm still working on, and I don't know if there's an easy way to rearrange the tab, but I'm not going to worry about that right now because that's taken too much time. So I'm just going to make this where everybody can see that. And this is where, you know, we could do some potential calculation. You can see what was received and sent as far as from a numbers standpoint. So the opportunity of doing some type of calculation here, and this is one of the things that provides some interesting, and the other opportunity that we have, you see me using Google Sheets here. There's already been conversations and direction to move towards Airtable, and that's something that I still have an action item to share with DSign, the credentials for that, or to give him a login. But the plan is to move towards, and DSign was very excited about that. I don't know if that's something that we want to put on the agenda for Saturday, but that's something that I think that we should. The thing that we really need to identify is what we want to focus on, and like, you know, potentially doing a website. I think that we could have a new website up fairly quickly. It might not look pretty, but it could be something that we could start having as far as some content. But getting back to Coordinape, so the decision, I'm going to add this as a bullet point, and if anybody wants to talk while I'm adding this as a bullet point here, and I'm actually going to do import CSV into our REtoken Google Sheets Season 0 tracker. Or that's good enough. So, and that's a easy thing for each team captain. And like I said, this probably isn't the best home for this checklist, but it's one that's convenient while we're doing this. So as far as adding a decisions, one of the things that we've spoken about is, and let's see, next actions, and I'll put add this as a decision to make. Agree upon weekly budget for this first round. Yonks has suggested regularly 250 REtoken, and we'll see what that looks like as far as from a number standpoint. I don't want to take the time to run the calculation here in this Google sheet, but we've got two examples here, one of which is this is the APE ambassadors. So like just going through that process, let me just do that real quick again for the core team here. And let me switch to the core relaunch team. So core relaunch team, click on the export CSV, and I'll bring open that sheet that I had. Oh, I'm getting too many. So let's, and this, we'll call this one and going back to the Google Sheet, let's just do that same process here real quick. Import, upload, and drag my little file guy in here that I just exported. And again, what I'm showing you here, this is something that will only be for the team captains, but you know, wanting, like I said, we're wanting to build a DAO leadership factory here. And the easier that it can be for everybody knowing how to do things, and the more consistently that we all do things, the easier it is for us all to operate consistency. And then also it's easier for somebody else to like, man, you know, if I don't know how to do something, there's all this documentation on how to do all this stuff, and the opportunity too. And this is one of the reasons that I'm looking forward to the content team. The better that we all get at creating content, and the more that I can just focus on that, you know, the opportunity to amplify anyway. So insert new sheet, detect automatically, import the data. And here's what it looks like. Now that we've got that, I'm going to just rename this tab real quick because I made an excessively long file name, and we're going to call this APE 2021 week 49 and core. There we go. So, and looking at our tabs, there's that one, and I don't know if I can just move them up. I'll see if there's an easy way to do that over here, but so we've got a lot of tabs. And again, this is, thank you, Mrs. Yonks, for keeping track of all this stuff. This is one of the things that makes it a lot easier for going through the stuff. See, like I even had an inconsistency on the naming here. We'll get that inconsistency fixed, and we'll call this, I'm going to just call it ambassadors just to, so I don't get confused. So on to that, let's go back to the, I went through going the allocation, setting up the profile. I talked about the admin stuff. I'm gonna let everybody else chime in here. We've got 13 minutes scheduled for this. I thought that we could get it done in a half an hour. Started a little late, but I'm gonna stop talking and let some people ask some questions.
Just an update before questions start. I went ahead and added Dax and Crush to the dev team and got everybody opted in, so you can start allocating gift to each other now.
Hey, real quick, what was the link for, or I think you guys might have said something about that earlier, because I went to Coordinape, the website, and then like I don't know, I was having trouble finding like our page for everything.
There's not a page. You just connect your wallet, and if you go to coordinape.com and you go to like launch app, it's at app.coordinape.com, and then you just connect your wallet. You have to be on Ethereum mainnet. It will currently throw an error if you're not on Ethereum, so make sure that you switch to Ethereum, and then it should have you in there where you can start setting up your profile for our circle. And like when you click on the little after you get connected, if you click on the little like, and it'll probably be a an OM in the upper right corner, and then you should see the circle down there for dev team, REtoken DAO, and then dev team. And Rosetta's saying that she wants to be on the ambassadors team. So if you could get Rosetta added, Tyler, I think I've got you as an admin on that. And I do indeed.
I was gonna suggest, I mean, I appreciate you guys adding me, and then like I kind of started all that, but I think we should probably advocate that people add themselves just so they get used to the interface, like in future, like for the future, because otherwise, because you know, like yeah, I think
so. There's no capability at all in Coordinape to add yourself.
Oh,
and
really?
the reason, yeah, and the reason for that, there's two knobs. So like here, what it looks like if we wanted to create a new circle, which I'm not going to go through the process, but here's what it looks like. And let me actually go to the admin of an existing circle. Like here on the settings for ambassadors, see this knob where it says enable vouching, yes or no? So So the vouching, what that looks like is, and this is actually a process that I went through literally earlier today, where I vouched for DSign. Tyler and I are ambassadors at BitDAO. So I went through the process, and I can actually show you what that looks like here, over here. So
I get
BitDAO,
it.
Yeah, so I can nominate over here. And this is the permissionless capability, and the way that it works with the vouching. Going back here real quick to like the ambassadors. So like on the admin, go to the settings, and then like if we were going to turn on vouching, minimum vouchers to add a member. So this is where we could turn on the permissionless capabilities. We're not doing that here during this first round. We want to have we do have, because a tight control over our community, because we don't have enough framework to go permissionless right now. Like we don't even have defined roles and responsibilities for these teams. So down the road, if we want to say yes, we're ready, we have the framework, let's open up this baby and let her rip, then that's where we could turn on the enable vouching. We don't have enough personal experience as far as using this tool or enough framework as a DAO to go down that road right now. So for this initial round, we've turned off the vouching, but that's what it looks like to so to join a circle, any Coordinape circle, you have to be invited by an administrator, or in a permissionless Coordinape implementation, you have to be nominated, which they call vouching. And again, vouch DSign to join the BitDAO community delegate ambassador program over there. And so that, and I mean, I can even show what that looks like from the Discord bot perspective over here on that, because that's useful, because we've got the so here's the threads, and this is what it looks like here. So DSign, and this was like 5:10, so 4.5 hours ago. DSign has been nominated by Yonks. You can vouch for them, and you click on the little link. And then what I did, as everybody probably knows, I'm a huge fan of threads. And then DSign has been vouched for by Mrs. Yonks. DSign has been vouched for by JE. DSign has received enough vouches and is now in the circle. So DSign, welcome to the BitDAO circle. That's what it looks like from the Coordinape in a permissionless with the vouching component. So that was a great question, because I probably wouldn't have shown that otherwise.
Hey, Jason, real quick. So, and this is for those of you who are admins. I accidentally created a duplicate circle. Jason created one, that I created the same one. If you just remove everybody from it and then you remove yourself last, that circle disappears. So if you make any mistakes and there have been no gives yet, if it's just an admin mistake, that's how you delete it. So if that ever comes up, you didn't mean to duplicate something or spelled something wrong or whatever, you can't do that once you started giving. So you got to do it on the front end. But yeah, so that second new platform team's gone now. I got rid of it. And now just the one that's got everybody in it is what's left. So just FYI on that.
And this is me going in and making some slight adjustments, like the opportunity of uploading a circle logo here. So I'm going to just throw on the REtoken logo real quick, just to make it a little prettier, and to lean into the everyone achieves more with the me being CDO. And this is one of the other things too, the auto opt-out. And let me show you what that looks like here. So I'm going to go ahead and enable the auto opt-out and turn off team selection, and turn on the default opt-in. Yeah, because the default opt-in, whenever we add a contributor, that's somebody that is saying, hey, I want to get engaged. So they should be opted in at that time. And that's just one less radio button that they have to do. So let me go ahead and save that. And I don't know, adding the webhook, I'm not going to do that here real quick, because I'm not speedy enough to do that on the camera. But and we only have a few more minutes, and I would rather be attentive to anybody's potential questions. So this is, again, the new platform team. And as time goes through, and I want to show everybody real quick what it looks like going here to the core relaunch team, because there was some people that didn't allocate the gives. Poopster and Ryan didn't allocate the gives for the core relaunch team last week, and then it automatically opted them out. So that's how that auto opt-out function works. And looking at the ambassadors team, which was also the other circle that occurred, and I don't know if somebody automatically opted everybody back into this, but I'm sure that there was some people. And looking real quick at the so here was some that sent 0. So most of these people, like here, and I don't know if like sending two would have prevented the auto opt-out from happening. But any questions as far as, I know that we've gone through a lot. The biggest thing for people that aren't adminning a circle, go in, get your profile set up, tell us what you're working on here this week. And again, I'm fully aware that we are defining roles and responsibilities. But again, one of the things I'm most excited about Coordinape is the opportunity to be thoughtful as far as how that we're communicating with the rest of the team when you allocate the gives, but then also to be thoughtful as far as what value am I contributing to the organization so that we can all help make real estate more accessible, real estate investing for everyone, and then also increase the opportunities to really make equitable and affordable housing more accessible. And those conversations are just getting started, but I'm going to stop talking, let everybody ask any questions before we wind this down.
Hey, Jason, I might have missed this. Just a quick thing on the new platform. I don't know what I might have missed, platform team or something. Yeah. So this is replacement to Mighty Networks and Circle team. Is that correct? I might have missed it. Sorry, if you can.
It's so calling it the Mighty Launch Team, I felt was an unfair bias towards Mighty. And then the opportunity here. Now, whether we have this circle, like after we complete this first 4 rounds, this new platform team, and this is just one opportunity, like as far as when you're thinking, if you want to participate in this new platform team, and I would absolutely encourage people that have gone through, setting up a new profile, like that's you contributing to the overall experience of, because you have a better perspective as far as what that new member experience to that new platform would be compared to somebody else that hasn't gone through the process of setting up that account, whether it's circle.so or Mighty Network. So, and I see that we don't have you on the new platform team, but yeah, this is functionally just like a slight pivot from the Mighty Launch Team, and we'll reflect that. I haven't had the bandwidth yet in Discord, and this is to reflect that as well within Discord. And we'll have some more conversations here as far as what the next steps are for, figuring out the decision path on those 2 platforms.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. Because it's a little bit confusing for some people, I guess, because we're talking about Mighty Network and Circle. All of a sudden now we're jumping into this new platform. So I just wanted to add some clarification on that. Thank you.
I have a question that's related to that as well, though. So I'm kind of curious maybe we should also get starts like a inventory type style thing for this too. Or basically I was wondering what Mighty Networks, was it a choice between Mighty Networks or Coordinape, or what were we looking for each of those tools to do? I guess that's the big question. What were we looking for?
Hey, Michael, it wasn't between Mighty Net. So there were 2 different things. Mighty Networks and Circle we're only going to use one of the 2 of those. The purpose of the new platform, Mighty Networks or Circle, was because we wanted a cleaner interface for people that don't like or don't understand Discord. The Coordinape was to make it easier for people to kind of automate some reward distribution. So the goal is, especially as we get bigger, that we can have some rewards as bounties, some as automatic. Nobody needs to allocate rewards to you for attending this call. You just get them because that's what we do. And some are bounties that you just sign up for stuff and then you get them. And then some we just want to add an extra level to thank people that are just kind of going above and beyond. The same reason why we do Community Member of the Week. But for this, we just want to give you guys an easy automated tool that you don't have to keep DMing Yonks and me and be like, hey, I want to give stuff to Design. I want to give it to Amy. I want to give it to Teresa. I want to give it to Rosetta, blah, blah, blah. We don't need any of that anymore with this tool for Coordinape. You just allocate it and you're like, okay, I think Amy's amazing. Give her some retoken, boom. And then she just gets it. There's not voting. There's not anything. You just have a little pool. And if you don't allocate it because you don't feel like anybody did anything, or you just say, I only feel like giving out 100 of my 250, then that's what you do. Super easy, no admin, everything automatically connects, really easy.
And
Okay, thank you.
And to summarize, yeah, Coordinape is a DAO tool, and Mighty Networks and Circle are community platforms, and that's to fulfill the WeBiddle in inclusive and platform agnostic community. Because like Discord, when you think about like if Discord like shut down tomorrow, we don't have a community that we really own. So the opportunity to really develop a community that we can own and be intentional about like having a platform that we really own on our own domain that we can change, like we might, you know, go through this effort and then 5 years from now we're like, okay, well, Mighty Networks doesn't make sense. There's a new shiny ball and we want to migrate our platform. Because my expectation, because we're kind of in this, you know, window period where we're migrating, we're trying to go to Web3, right? And really we're kind of in this maybe Web 2.5 phase. And like, I think Mighty Networks and WordPress, like Design and I were on a great conversation where we're getting a lot more excited about doing WordPress and utilizing Unlock protocol to create a much more like Web 2.5 experience, because WordPress is still very much Web 2.0, but at least that's a platform that we can build on a domain that we own. Whereas Discord, like, you know, we don't really own anything there. That's Discord has put together an amazing platform for chatting and stuff like that. So the opportunity to really architect a platform agnostic community. So, and then Coordinape is really like a need that we have, the rewards distribution as we're doing it today. I really like the way that we're doing the intentionally incentivized activities, but this is where we can have a lot more scale, but then a lot more autonomy. I mean, you saw how easy it was for me to export a CSV file, because like right now, the way that we're doing the rewards participation, it's a very manual process. I mean, like, look at all these tabs that we've got in this thing here for keeping track, and the opportunity to automate all of that with better infrastructure here in 22 absolutely exists. Now, we don't know what our rewards distribution is going to look like fast forward 6 months. You know, we might have all kinds of new tools. Like DAO tooling has been a big conversation within the crypto ecosystem here in the second half, and it's only going to amplify dramatically in 2022. So if you're interested, I mean, like, and that's one of the things, you know, I encourage everybody here within this community to explore some other DAOs. Like Bankless, we've had an increasing amount of conversations. You just heard like about Tyler and I, and we just vouched for Design to join us through that process over at BitDAO. And, you know, the opportunity for those conversations, and this is just kind of the DAO-plomacy that we're putting forward. That was another WeBiddle proposal in this like REtoken relaunch that's, you know, rapid fire, all these WeBiddle proposals, right? So yeah, the Coordinape is just a scalable tool that the community has really enjoyed using, and the tool is only going to get better and better as more people use it, and you know, feedback, and then, you know, so yeah.
All right, yeah, I completely agree with everything you said, and especially with as we move out and getting the need for the tool for like to automate the giving of the rewards and everything. And then, yeah, thank you for answering that question in a very descriptive manner. I was kind of like thinking about as we add tools, basically just was kind of wondering if I would feel like it would be best if we had tools that we use as a DAO that weren't gonna completely overlap, I honestly think one of the things that we might try to look into to be platform agnostic is maybe just look at how our distribution of content mechanism is working. Because if we could figure out a solution to distribute the content to all of the channels automatically or as seamlessly as possible at the same time, that would essentially we would essentially gain the ability to be platform agnostic without having to like, I don't like exactly own, well, I still think the WordPress thing with owning our own domain and running our own WordPress site is a really good idea. I have tons of experience doing that too. I feel like that's a great idea because like everybody needs a homepage. Basically, we like a good looking like website. And I feel like if we could like automate the distribution of content from that page, that would be wonderful, or maybe automate it from GitHub or something like that. But yeah, that's it. All I got.
Yeah, and to speak about the automation of content, I mean, like the live stream, like functionally what we're doing right now is absolutely being automated. Like I don't know if most people knew or not, but this particular live stream I think is going to like literally 10 different channels, including you know, we've got multiple REtoken channels like YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And so this content is getting blasted out, and we'll have more conversations as far as amplifying our content strategy through the team formation that we're having here. But one thing that I did want to put out there, we're again taking a very like hand-holding approach here during this Coordinape implementation. We really believe in how that this tool is built and the opportunity to really embrace this tool, but most importantly, help all of you feel comfortable and confident using this tool, but get more excited about the scalable opportunities that this tool will provide. And we're going to have another conversation, 4 o'clock. You can see it on the calendar here, 4 o'clock, and that's on the tail end of the core relaunch, and that's 4 Eastern time on Sunday, and that'll be the end of the week sync, because we've got this running in tandem with the calendar week here. And when I'm talking the calendar week, Monday to Sunday, and that's, you know, how we look at the REtoken calendar. But does anybody else have any final questions? We're already 7 minutes over the hour here. It's getting late, but would like to make sure that we have all the questions answered tonight.
I have a question. This is Amy.
Yeah, what's up,
Yes.
Amy?
For me to manage with my team.
We told them,
There's a lot of uncertainty,
Go ahead, Amy.
there's a lot of fear.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me. When I was doing the POAP, I caught 2 names that were not in your list of attendees that were, when I took pictures of the attendance, were there. So I don't know, I'll DM it to you or put it in our hashtag
Which 2 were you looking
link
for?
channel, and then you can correct it, because I don't know how to correct it.
Okay. Yeah, just send it to me, Amy. I'll get it fixed for you. I know who everybody is on this call, so just let me know who you're missing, and I'll get it fixed for you.
Yeah, okay, because there
Yeah.
were 2 people that I took a picture of, I think it was Saturday or Sunday, that was not in your list. So I just want to make sure they get their REtokens. That's all.
Thank you for staying on top of that. That is so helpful. Like, I can't even tell you. It's amazing. It's
Well, I
really
just got
appreciated.
those 2 because I was sending POAPs, and I said, oh, their names are not in this list. And I just didn't know, you know, that's why I mentioned it tonight, how to go about it. So I'll DM it to you, or you can, I'll try to tag you on my channel.
Yeah, whichever one's fine. I'll take care of it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, awesome.
Any other final thoughts here? And if you have any questions on this, again, we're all learning together here. And I did see here the Coordinape bot had this chimed in whenever Mrs. Yonks added Rosetta, so that was fabulous. So that was just one other visual cue of there. So looking forward, the ambassadors team is going to be very, very exciting. Excited to lay a foundation here, and this is Coordinape is definitely a tool that I believe will provide some scalability, and it's fun putting these tools in place and learning with you all. But anybody else before we call it a wrap here? I'm going to do the 5. All righty. Well, you all have a great night. Take a look at the calendar. We've got lots of activities coming up, and more than likely, I'm going to take a look. And this is one of the things I'm going to do is get this. And let me actually put this in there real quick as a final thought, because I know that Rosetta, you were interested in the ambassadors team, and we would absolutely love your participation in the upcoming call. And we've got this let us meet here for that. And I'm just looking to get that. Oh, I got it right here. Let me throw this in the Zoom chat. So, because if you or Teresa or anybody else that's wanting to be on this upcoming call, if you can get in and get your availability, there's 10 bonus REtoken. And it's not that I want to give you extra 10 REtoken. It's that we really want to make sure that we can accommodate your schedule with the scheduling of this upcoming, and try to be as inclusive for who will be attending that, because I'm very, very optimistic as far as the foundation that this ambassadors team is going to play in executing our winning strategy in 2022. So again, I'm going to do my countdown. I threw out that let us meet there for everybody. So I saw a question here real quick from Nicholas. How will people not attending or in Coordinape get involved moving forward? So that's the opportunity here, Nicholas, is that these conversations that we're holding on the live stream is there's a couple reasons that we do this. First of all, it's a content strategy. I mean, so this content is going out. It's also one of our full transparencies aspects. So the opportunity, and I know that Mrs. Yonks asked for your wallet address. If there's a particular team that gravitated to you, and that's one of the things, we don't have any definitions right now as far as participating in these Coordinape circles, and the opportunity to get better as far as how that we're using this. This is all just completely out of the box. While it may not seem like a complicated tool, there's different knobs and stuff that you can tweak. We'll talk more about that in round 2. But that's one of the other reasons that we like participating in other DAOs, is because that we don't know. We're all learning together here. So that's one of the big value propositions that a tool like Coordinape provides, is that, there's a lot that needs to be done. And that's one of the things that we're still working on getting better at. Like, this is literally the second week where we have this team captain component. Like in November, it was basically me running the show, and there wasn't really like a team captain type of a dynamic. So we're getting some leadership elements. People are raising their hands that want to lead some of the efforts here. So it's all a work in progress. So bear with us. We're working on defining this. We love hearing feedback, and I think that that's the biggest opportunity for people. I absolutely encourage people to provide feedback, because without feedback, I'm going to just keep on operating in a vacuum. So the feedback is welcomed and appreciated. So does that answer that question for you, Nicholas? Well, step 1, you're getting REtoken for participating tonight. So step 2 is just kind of like figure out what team. I mean, we've got some definitions on team, like ambassadors, dev team, content team, and then the new platform team. Like if you like exploring tools and want to be like if you're not a Discord guy, I don't even know exactly how you found REtoken, but the opportunity to engage in one of those teams and just kind of like hop in. I mean, so kudos to you for hopping on the Zoom. I mean, that was the first step. A lot of people are shy about hopping on the Zoom. So we'll reach out to any one of us, anybody that's on the call here. Everybody that's participated except for yourself has participated for a period of time. We're all very welcoming and we love the contributions. So it says, so would a form with options be good? I don't know if I understand that question or not, but yeah. And are you on our Discord right now, Nicholas? I mean, that's the easiest place to have a conversation. So make sure you send a DM or use that private channel or wherever. We'll figure it out. We'll take that conversation offline and help you get plugged in here as well. So I'm going to do my countdown timer before we call it for a wrap. Unless I see some questions, I'm going to take a look one last time in the live stream channel here. All right, so let's see. I did a thanks everyone. All right, let's see. All right, evenings. Okay, so I'm going to do my countdown timer, close it out. Alrighty, I'm shutting her down. Thanks, everybody. And again, hit the subscribe button. Have a good night. Until next time.
Good night, everyone.